Hey, it's Gina at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut, here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead of July 19th. So by the time this video comes out on Sunday night, the moon will still be in the sign of Scorpio. It's going to stay there until dinner time on Monday, the 19th. So lots of watery, deep emotions going on, and then we already have the sun in the sign of Cancer. This is the last few days of the sun being in the sign of Cancer. So there's a lot of emotion, and I think of it as a nice time to kind of just float, take it easy, enjoy the summer, share your feelings as you want to, but know that there's a lot, it's an emotional time. Mercury, the planet of communication, is also in the sign of Cancer, so if you can time it right, if you can find the right way to express yourself, you may be able to share some really deep feelings. So the sun is going to move into the sign of Leo on Thursday the 22nd in the morning. So things are going to move, start moving a lot faster. Leo is a fire sign. It's the heart chakra. It just feels like full summer to me. And so it's going to be full speed ahead. Let's see. So the moon will go into Sagittarius around dinner time on Monday night. So we talk about the moon and how it affects us because in astrology we consider the moon the closest planet to us, and that really affects our moods as humans, especially as women, and even more so if you have watery signs, a lot of water in your chart. So Sagittarius, fire energy. So it's going to shift. So the week may start off a little slower, Sunday night, Monday night, and then Sagittarius wants to get out there and go and do and see. And so, the moon will be in Capricorn by Wednesday night. So Wednesday night might be a good night for maybe having work if you need to work late or you have some business to take care of. Wednesday night would be a great night to do that. Whereas Tuesday might be a night if you can goof off a little and do what you want. Sagittarius moons love that. So Thursday we get the full moon. So we all know things can get a little wild and crazy around a full moon, especially when it's not till Friday. Friday's the full moon at 10:37 p.m. And it's going to be in the sign of Aquarius. So I was talking about wild and crazy during a full moon, which is just kind of naturally what happens. And then when you put it into a sign like Aquarius that's known for being unpredictable, it's ruled by Uranus. It's that lightning bolt of change, lightning bolt of insight. Anything is possible. I pulled this oracle card for the full moon in Aquarius, and it says, show the world the real you. So it's definitely a time to be your quirky self and let the world know that. The weekend the moon's going to be in Aquarius until late on Sunday night, where it'll enter into Pisces. So anything's possible. I like to think of Aquarius moons as times where maybe I don't make a lot of plans. Maybe I just spur the moment decide to do something. Aquarius is the Fool card in tarot, and so he just kind of follows his calling, his higher calling, and goes on an adventure. So that's how I'm seeing this weekend ahead. All right, let's see. We have Venus moving into the sign of Virgo on Wednesday the 21st in the evening. So it's moving out of Leo. So that Leo is a little bit of a tough position for Venus, and now it's going to go into Virgo, which Virgo is about details. In astrology, it rules the house of health, the house of work, the house of service, and so I have a Venus placement in Virgo. It can get nitpicky, so be careful about being too nitpicky with yourself, because now we have the sun moving into Leo. It's very self-orientated. Leo in astrology rules the 5th house, the house of fun, the house of children. So don't be mean to yourself, especially, I know we're in bathing suit season, so that's what keeps coming up for me. And then be kind to other people too. Virgo, sometimes Venus and Virgo, we think that we're helping by pointing out other people's details or things that we are concerned about for their health, but it definitely can stir the pot. So be aware of that. Think of how you can give to the world, how you can be of service to the world, but I really feel like the theme is self-care, because we're coming out of this Cancer sun, which is very much about self-care, and then Leo, it rules fun, it's the heart chakra, but it's really about being kind to yourself and then letting that expand out into the world. So please be kind, do something for your health, and sometimes fun is the best thing for your health. So keep that in mind. The sun is still in opposition with Pluto, the planet of transformation. So I'm going to quote Sheila Haidt here, because she had some good quotes this week from her astrology report. And she said, "Don't move along with self-deception that blinds you. Celebrate who you honestly are." That kind of goes along the line with show the world the real you. Let's be honest with yourself. Try to see yourself clearly and make the changes that you want to make. And what else? The sun and moon are in a trine with Neptune. So a trine is considered a positive aspect, but anytime Neptune's involved, things can get really cloudy. So the way that I'm seeing that is this is a great time to be creative. This Aquarius weekend, this Aquarius full moon, these bolts of insight, these ideas that can come in, and then Neptune is so the beauty of creating beautiful things and art and all of that. But just remember that for anything to truly work, it needs a strong foundation. So that's kind of floating around there too. Okay, so moon water, I'm going to be putting out a post this week about moon water, more instructions on how to do it, but it's really easy. You're just putting a jar of water outside. And if you can't put it outside, then you're going to put it in a window. So you're going to want to put some moon water out Monday the 19th, Tuesday the 20th. I like to put a big jug out covered and let it stay out there till about Sunday the 25th. I'll pour off of it a little bit as I go. But by the 25th, it's going to be really charged up with that Aquarian, forward thinking, anything's possible. So envision the things that you want to come into you, that sudden change. Aquarius also rules large groups of people. It's the house of the humanitarian. It's also the house of friends. So this would be a good time to enjoy your friends or to make some wishes. Thanking the universe. I like to thank the universe, and especially on a full moon, for everything that has been brought to us. It's a great time to look back at your new moon wishes and really reflect on what you asked for and what you've been given, and really celebrate that. So have a fabulous week and pick a pile here. Pile number 1, I'm working with this pretty clear quartz. This is a polished clear quartz, and I matched it with this feather. So that is for pile number 1. I think of quartz as so clearing, and this feather kind of brushing things away. Pile number 2, we have this cool leaf here in metal. This is a cottonwood leaf. And this is black kyanite. And black kyanite is a great stone to work with for clearing also. I think of it as a little kind of two opposite ends of clearing here, with the white light and with the dark. And they say kyanite never needs to be cleared. It's a great one to keep it in with your tarot deck, actually. Okay, and pile number 3, we've got this nice big chunk of quartz, clear quartz, and this fun moon. So go ahead, pick your pile, let's get started. Pile number 1. So this beautiful polished clear quartz and this feather. This is a great one I've actually been sleeping with this one next to me. I feel like it can absorb a lot of negativity. I also sometimes will work with a quartz when I'm driving, and I'll hold on to it, release any negativity that I might be holding on to, and then I put it up on the dash of my car to clear in the sun. Here's this fun feather. The term "the softening" keeps coming up to me. I remember Jeannie Street. She's a pretty famous medium in the area, and I went to one of her events one time, and she came up to me, and all she said was, "Oh, the softening," or at least that's what I remember. And so this feather, the softening, the clearing away of this old stuff with the quartz that no longer serves. I love that this is polished quartz, so it's really like cleaned up. And the feather kind of things brushed out of the way, clearing it out of the way, clearing the mind. Okay, so let's see what we have for you this week ahead. I'm working with a bunch of different decks. I've got the Wizard's Tarot, the Light Seers, the Black Cat, and Everyday Enchantment. And I'm going to throw an oracle into this at the end too. Okay, so you're starting off with the King of Cups, King of Water, King of Emotion. We know that we're starting off the week with the Sun in Cancer, the Moon in Scorpio. So there's a lot of emotion. The King of Cups knows when to separate himself out from that. There's the Nine of Swords. There's a lot on your mind. This is the Insomnia card. So how can we soften and release some of these worries? Because a lot of these things are never going to happen. Or maybe you're just picking up things that are happening in the world with all this water energy that can so easily happen, that we start feeling the pain of others. And there needs to be a clearing and a separation so that you can rest. Here's the Eight of Blades, Eight of Swords. The baby screaming, the dog howling, and the mom just looking very stressed out. So there's a lot of emotions screaming at you. There's a lot of thoughts screaming at you. It kind of feels stuck in this loop. And here's this feather, this softening. I just feel like it's like brushing all this over worry away. Let's see what your foundation card is. We have the Three of Wands down here, which is such opposite energy. Interesting, heading out onto the water. The King of Cups is up at the top, and then all this tension in the middle. Is there a time that you can sneak away? I was talking about this week feeling like floating energy. It's summertime. Can we get out there on that water? Especially when there's so much water energy, I find it so clearing to get out. Just that feeling of just dipping your head underwater and how much it changes your energy field. And so it feels like that's the solution to all this over worrying. Some fun. We're going into Leo. The sun's going into Leo. Leo is the house of fun in astrology. In the background, we have the Two of Wands. They're arm wrestling back there. A little bit of a power struggle going on in the background. Here's the Three. This is the Empress in the Black Cat Tarot. She's a cool cat. So she feels very different than this stressed out mom next to her. And the Empress is, is always giving birth to something new. She's seen pregnant usually. And so it's like such opposite energy of this, this stress that she's ruled by Venus. She's royalty. And so it's in there in the background. Let's see what else we've got coming up here. The Seven of Coins. Three of Swords, and somehow I picked an extra card here than I planned to. It's the Ten of Coins, Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so you've got the Seven of Coins here. Looks like she's considering making a purchase. There's money being handed. It says handmade crafts. She's kind of deciding what she wants, what's of value to her, what she wants to buy, what's her style. Here's the Three of Swords, the lightning bolt outside the window, so Aquarian. And we know that we're moving into that full Aquarius moon. The wind is coming in and just blowing all this paperwork apart, blowing all this. It's almost like all the energies there, like obsessing over the thinking, the calculating. Maybe you're stressed about money right now. And the wind and the storm just come in and blow all the papers off the desk. That's almost like to take your attention off of that. And then you've got the Ten of Coins. Looks like Christmas time. a lot of money spent on gifts, but there looks like there's plenty. So I want to pull a couple more because I feel like I'm missing something here. So it feels to me like there's this like back and forth. There's this worry about, it's like you almost know deep down that things are going to be okay, but on the surface there's this worry. There's this stress, this interfering with sleep. It feels like there's like extremes here between like just stress and then fun. Let's see what else we've got. We've got the Empress again, the Chariot, and the Four of Cups. Just kind of just sitting there thinking it all over. The Chariot is ready to move ahead. Look at the dragons pulling you forward. And then the Empress again, who's kind of just sitting. She's relaxing. She's not worried. I think things are changing very quickly for you as you turn your attention away from the overthinking. There's like needs to be a distraction. A couple more. I'm going to do an oracle here. There's a ritual. Let's see what that one was. Partnership. There's partnership here, which is interesting that you have this Two of Swords, Two of Wands here, this arm wrestling, and then there's this ritual. So, and it's over that card about purchasing, like making a decision about purchasing something, and the Empress is here, and she's ruled by Venus, which rules jewelry and all of that. And here's the Ten of Pentacles here, where there is plenty. So I feel like there needs to be like some kind of symbolic, like you need to purchase something for yourself symbolically to say, I'm not going to be consumed by this worry. There's some kind of worry about lack, even though I don't see lack. I just see worry. And I see things moving in a positive direction. Panache. Okay, so I think it's a piece of clothing. Loyalty. Dictatorship. Okay. So, yeah, there's some kind of, like, I see a power struggle with yourself. That's why you're not sleeping well or you're worrying. There's also some kind of power struggle with some other partnership that you have going on, and you need to take the lead. There's a certain amount, like, I get that you're like a very loyal creature, that you're not making any decisions out of ill will. I just see something, you have to be loyal to yourself, and you need to take the lead here. You need to be in control here with the decision that needs to be made. There's something symbolic that you need to do for yourself. I do think it's buying yourself a piece of clothing, and whatever price range that is, I see that you doing that is showing the universe that you're not afraid, that you have confidence, that you know things are, that you're going to be okay. And I want to roll these Astro dice. Let's see what comes up here. We've got Neptune in Libra in the 12th house, and Neptune rules the 12th house, which is Pisces house. It's very, we're talking about Neptune being trine the sun and the moon this week, so it's super creative. And so there's this fogginess. There's not going to be a lot of clarity right now. So that's why it's important for you to do this kind of ritual where you're making a symbolic statement to the universe that this is the foundation that you're setting up for yourself. So we talked about your creativity has to have a strong foundation. You have the Empress twice, which is a 3, which is a foundation number, along with the 3 of Wands here. You need to make, your partnership kind of almost needs to be with yourself instead of just the struggle, because I think the struggle is with you. It's you worrying and then knowing there's enough, and then worrying and then knowing there's enough. And you need to be more loyal and kind to yourself. So there's the softening energy. There's something there. I'm seeing some kind of flowy clothing that you're going to purchase for yourself, that you're making a statement that you are not going to be afraid. I also actually see you like starting to shop ahead for the holidays and take your attention off this worry. Okay, now I want to pull something else here. What do I want to use? Oh, I'm going to use a few charms. I'm going to put this little hand in the middle here. See what we got that lands in the hand. This is just for fun. Well, nothing landed in the hand, but we have a little castle in the background here. Hope, the sun. There's this ring here, which is this commitment to yourself. There's hope here about finances changing. There's a castle. There's sun, because you need to shift your attention a little bit more on fun. Number 5 rolled, which is the 5th house in astrology, which is Leo's house, the house of fun, the house of children. And this royalty tag, it's a brand that fell off a pair of jeans, but it's a very, for me, it has a great backstory to it. It has a crown on it. And so there's something here about trusting that you are definitely not needing to worry about money. And this dice rolled what? So, and it's kind of fallen on this 10 of coins, where I almost saw you like kind of starting your Christmas shopping early, taking some time, taking some pleasure. Maybe you have some children in your life that you want to buy beautiful things for. Go into it early so that you're not stressed about money. Go into it early and find unique little things and enjoy the fun process of that. And along the way, make sure that you buy yourself something beautiful as a statement to the universe that you will not live in poverty mentality. Thank you for joining me. Pile number 2. I have this piece of black kyanite, amazing, powerful clearing stone, and this leaf cottonwood. You heard me talk about my cottonwood theory before. Long story short, having a cottonwood tree in my yard that I hated, that it would blow cotton everywhere and make a mess. And I said one day to it, someday I'm gonna cut you down to the ground. And that night, a huge storm ripped through. And when I woke up the next day, there was cotton all over my yard. It looked like it was snowing in the summer. And that tree came down to the ground. And it really made me realize that be careful with your words. I guess I'm taking responsibility for the tree coming down, but careful with your power. And but use it for good and use it to create the life that you want. So here's our cottonwood theory. Anything is possible if you put your energy towards it. And the kyanite with that deep clearing. Okay, so working with a few different decks here. I've got the Dragon Tarot, the Light Seers, the Black Cats, and Everyday Enchantment. And we're gonna work with an Oracle also. And our theme card here is Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius, coming up on Friday, 23rd. Okay, let's see what we've got to start the week off here. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. There's different little formulas floating around here. Lots of options, lots of ideas. Especially, there's pretty brilliant ones floating around with all this Aquarius energy. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Justice. Such a great one. So Justice, major arcana, ruled by, associated with the sign Libra, ruled by Venus. Making sure that you're being balanced in your life and your relationships, that are nurturing yourself. Got the 7 of Pentacles. So that's the same card twice. 7, your spiritual path. Pentacles, anything of value. Earth energy, grounded. And giving things time to show what's really going on here. Your foundation card here is the Emperor. associated with Aries, ruled by the planet Mars, how you take action. The Emperor is in charge. He makes decisions for the wellness of others. He's usually the boss. And so, okay, let's keep going, see what else we've got. Got the Ten of Swords in the background. That's a pretty hairy looking one. I joke that this one's like acupuncture. So Ten of Swords, there's an overwhelmment going on in the background. There's an exhaustion. It's reached its highest point, thank goodness. There's the moon. Look at that version of the moon. It's wild. Okay. The Three of Swords and the Three of Swords. Oh boy, okay. So, what do we got here? Feeling like, let's see, show the world the real you. There's a lot of extremes going on here. There's a lot of possible maybes. There's a lot of things that could be happening. They take time to grow. There's a need for you to be kinder to yourself. There just is. To own your power, to show up in a relationship with yourself that's kinder. There's a lot of exhaustion. And then there's a lot of like fogginess. The moon's in the background here, and we know that there's a lot of Neptune energy. The moon in tarot is considered Pisces card that's ruled by Neptune. It's very foggy and it's very unclear. Okay, and then the Three of Swords on the other side here. There's just a lot of pain that just kind of needs to be cried out. I feel like it would be done pretty quickly if you just let it happen. It needs to happen. There's a certain amount of responsibility that you need to take for the relationships that didn't work. And I almost feel like it's more the relationship with yourself, because I feel like you're not taking care of yourself the way that you need to. It's like maybe you're working a lot. Maybe you're thinking about others a lot, but there's not a lot of you being kind to yourself. Let's see what else we've got here. It's the Empress, the Ten of Cups. Okay, so the Empress is ruled by Venus, just like Justice is. So there's something here about the self-love, the self-care. I've got a Ten of Pentacles and a Ten of Cups. King of Pentacles, the Six of Swords. Okay, so there's kind of like, I feel like there's some grief. Maybe if you're a parent, I'm seeing it as like there's some grief over maybe the kids growing up, moving away from you more. But there's new opportunities opening up that you're not noticing because you're so focused on the pain of what hurts right now. So maybe if you have children, it's them growing up. Maybe if it's maybe if you're going into more of an adult phase, there's a switch here. There's something changing. There's a moving ahead. There's new opportunities opening, but I don't see you seeing those until you have this good cry. And I'll tell you one thing, Sunday night, Monday, great time to have the good cry. And then I see you moving forward away from this really fast, because as soon as that moon hits Sagittarius, Sagittarius just wants to go. So why don't you just let yourself have the cry? I bet you it won't even be that long. But there's a need for you to be kinder to yourself. There's a need for you to take better care of yourself. You cannot continue like this. It's not going to work. And you're really not going to be showing up in your relationships properly either. There seems like there's a lot of focus on work, or a lot of focus on like overseeing others. And it's time to move forward from that. So let's see a couple more how you move forward from that. It's the Sun, the Seven of Swords, and the Lovers. Okay. So there's kind of this mix between like this joyful sun, getting out there, moving forward. We're going into the sign of Leo. Here's the Seven of Swords. I've had a few sevens here in your spiritual path. He's going deep into his emotions, not afraid to shine some light on what's really going on. And then here's the Lovers, which is a Gemini card, which is really about choices. I feel like commitment to yourself is really big there. And making sure that you don't, I feel like there's this repetition of like the Three of Swords. So like going into relationships where out of the wound, and there's some really shining some light on what the repeated pattern is in these relationships. That you're not taking care of yourself, that you're trying to caretake them, and it's time for you to move into the phase of you really taking care of yourself. There's no more waiting. Pull a couple oracle cards here from the Relative Tarot Oracle. Exploration. Seance. Theatrics. They're all theatrical. Exploration. He's got this big suit on. He's ready to go explore some of the deep stuff that's going on. But I think, I see it like moving, I don't see you wallowing in this sadness long. I see you moving out of it very quickly. Seance and theatrics. So Leo. So I feel like there's just some old stuff here. There's some old feelings of loss. And you're really ready to move past them. So have the cry. Know that this is going to help everyone around you. It's going to help all your relationships. Make really clear choices about where you're giving yourself into what relationships, which friendships, which I see it more in love, but let's not keep repeating this old wound. And how can we stop repeating this old wound? Ace of Cups and Eight of Swords coming up reversed. Okay, how do we stop this old wound? Ace of Cups, the cup of satisfaction from the heart. And being kinder, just being kinder and using your energy more properly. And there's this idea that you're stuck, that you're bound, but this came in like this. You're free. So you can free yourself up. Ace is something new. We saw a bunch of 10s in here. And a 10 is a 1, an ace. So there's some newness coming in about how to love yourself more, how to be lighter, how to create the magic in your life to free you, like this cottonwood, right? It was free to that tree. You direct your energy towards what it is that you want. Kyanite helping you clear some of that deep, dark stuff. And you're ready. You're ready. This has kind of become like a broken record for you. You're ready to move into freer times. I see you ready for the exploration. This says exploration, but I'm thinking like expedition. You're ready for the adventure of the new you. And here's the Two of Cups. It looks very much like this Lover's card in a way. But there's like this new relationship with yourself, and then there's new really great relationships that can come in as you clear out some of this old garbage and this old giving yourself up all the time and not taking care of yourself. That's what I'm seeing. I'm going to roll some dice here. See what we've got. And we've got Jupiter in Libra in the 4th house. Okay, Jupiter, luck and blessings, the planet of expansion, rules Sagittarius. In the sign of Libra, which is the relationships, anyone not you, which is this Justice card. Trying to make everything good. I'm trying to expand, bring lucky things to other people. 4th house is the home. It's Cancer. It's also very nurturing of the self. So there needs to be more nurturing of the self, and then it will reflect into the relationships. But if you continue putting all the energy into the relationships and not yourself, you're going to keep repeating these 3 of Swords, and they're not fun. So here's that. 2 different versions of it. So let's step up, let's make some changes, let's direct our energy towards what it is that we want. And so you want healthier relationships. You want more kindness to yourself, knowing this is an old pattern that is ready to be broken. Have a great week. Pile number 3, this nice chunk of clear quartz, and this fun moon fell off of a necklace I had. So I'll put that over there. The quartz is there for beautiful clearing. I feel like it's so empowering, clear quartz. And the moon, which really has to do with our emotions and our creativity and our mood. And there's this clearing energy there. The theme this week is the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. The moon is who you truly are. The sun is kind of how other people see you, but your moon is what you keep a little bit more tucked in, a little bit more hidden, but it's really the true you. So look up where your moon sign is. And or you can always book a session with myself or one of our readers to discuss it, because it's really important to see what's going on, who you truly are, what your powers are that are a little bit more hidden. Okay, let's see what we have for the week ahead. Got the Queen of Pentacles, beautiful queen of value. She would be like a Capricorn queen, Taurus queen. She is patient. She knows that good things take a while. And we have the Devil card here. It's an interesting version. All right, so our first major arcana coming up in the heart position. The Devil's ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is like the rules, how things are done. And you know, I think of the Devil card a lot as like the dumping ground for a lot of blame and a lot of things that we don't understand. And so, let's see how that plays out, because that's coming up in your heart position. We have the Hierophant, another major arcana. This is the card of the year for 2021. 2021 is a 5-year. Hierophant is major arcana number 5. Change. It's a stairway to heaven there. Him laughing. And so it's interesting that it's coming up supporting the heart. So the Devil card is like that seriousness, that right and wrong, and this is not okay, and this is not acceptable, especially the Hierophant, because the Hierophant's usually a priest or a sage or something, something religious. But this version is like one of my favorites because he just feels like he's doing laughter yoga to me. So, and there's almost like this change about what is considered right and wrong, good and bad. And the Queen of Pentacles does not like change much. She's pretty fixed. So let's see what we have here in your foundation. The 7 of Wands. All these possibilities on your spiritual path. Wands is very creative energy coming in on the bottom here. Okay, let's see what we've got in the background. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, coming up in the background. The tire is just rolling away. They're chasing it. And, okay. There's the Hanged Man. You have a lot of majors. This version of the Hanged Man. Black Cat Tarot. Okay, so the Hanged Man is related to Virgo. We know that Venus is moving into Virgo. And the Hanged Man is considered like the divine delay card. And just kind of looking at things from a different perspective. And then the Wheel of Fortune is such a card of luck and blessings. So it's interesting that this new perspective can really bring you, it's like your mind can be expanded, because the Hierophant is also Sagittarius. So there's 2 Jupiter cards here, wanting you to see a bigger picture, especially about the rules that you have with yourself about right and wrong. Let's see what else we've got. King of Swords. Queen of Wands. Oh, I love this version. She's like leading the orchestra. It reminds me of Tanglewood, the home of the Boston Symphony Orchestra up here in the Berkshires. So there's fireworks going on in the background. She is the Queen of Fire. She is seen. She's front and center. She would be like a Sagittarius queen. There feels like there's a lot of Sagittarius energy here. The King of Swords is no nonsense. He's quite the businessman. He knows where to make the boundaries. And so I see you moving into something very dynamic. There's a lot of major arcanas here, which tell me that there's a lot that's happening for you this week, a lot of change, a lot of learning, a lot of deepness. And there's this theme of show the world the real you, and then we have the moon here, which is, we were talking about the real you. And this quartz here to help clear out anything that doesn't serve you anymore. I also find it just, I find quartz just so magical in general. I work with it a lot. And so you're just moving into this more dynamic way of showing up, that there's some ideas that you have that are outdated about something about who you're becoming, not being okay with maybe your religious beliefs or your parents' beliefs. And there's a change here available for you. And it couldn't happen when you were younger. It had to start to happen later. Queen of Pentacles is nothing soon. It takes time. So let's go with a few more. First, I want to roll Astro Dice and see what the theme here planet-wise is. We've got Venus in Leo in the 6th house. Oh, that's interesting, because Venus is just leaving the sign of Leo this week. And it's going into the sign of Virgo, which rules the 6th house. So there's something about Venus, like, is love, but it's self-love. And I think what I'm getting is that the love that you need to show yourself this week is about the rules that you're making for yourself. There's something that you think you're bad for. And that the universe is ready for you to look at that from a different perspective and to help you change that. And to take that bad energy and start using it differently to be the big person that you are. The 6th house is, again, the house of service, the house of health, all the details of your health. And so really I'm getting that you're ready to live a bigger life. You're ready to live from the heart, to be of service to others, whatever it is that you bring to the picture. And I just want to pull a few about what that is. Because you also have the Hangman, which is Virgo. The 8 of Swords, your service, the Page of Cups, and the High Priestess. So what I'm getting is that 8 of Swords is like this boundness, bound to thought. And there's something about, and I asked what it is that your service is, that you're bringing. And I got the Page of Cups, this young energy, young emotion. And then the High Priestess, more water energy, the divine feminine. I see that the rules of the swords is feels to me like being caught in these thoughts of these beliefs, these ideas, that goes back to this double card of what's right and wrong, and just torturing yourself, getting caught in this loop of just mentally torturing yourself. And now there's this Page of Cups, this freeness coming in. You've freed yourself in some way. To show the world how you're freeing yourself up, how you've taken this leap of faith to show up in the world the way that you want to take the risk of showing up in the world the way that you feel is best to live this more dynamic life. And the High Priestess, I mean, she's just fabulous. She's a 2. She's in relationship. She's in relationship with herself. You can be in relationship with others, and how I see a self-empowerment. That's what I see. And really showing the world the real you. This is the week for you to start seeing a reflection of you, where you have these hang-ups about right and wrong, and making the changes that need to be made to be free of that. And sometimes the changes are just putting a statement out to the universe that you're ready for that change. And maybe working with the clear quartz would be really good for you. holding it. Maybe when you think about the things that you think are so wrong, and maybe you can allow that to go into the quartz and then use some sunlight to clear it, or some salt water. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards for you. Martyrdom, civil servant, and servitude. Interesting, because these are all like so sixth house like. Being a martyr, being a civil servant in service, and then servitude in service. And so there's something, I just feel like there's a bigger calling that's coming up that the universe wants you to be in servitude to it. There's such dynamic change that you're making in your life that there's a way that you can show up to help others. And so if you don't know what that way is yet, just keep asking, keep writing down your wishes, keep asking the universe to show you how. But that's really what I'm seeing here for you. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card, and I'm gonna pull some charms for you too. Got the Tower. So it's just everything's busting apart, and it's interesting. I just kind of placed that over the Devil card and the Hierophant card. So the Devil, we know that you're ready to change the right and wrong viewpoints that you have, that they're not set in stone, and that they need to be modified. The Hierophant, change. And then the Tower's like, bam, there's the change, that bolt of lightning. And we're in this Aquarius weekend. This is the Tower card, is Aquarian. We're in this Aquarian full moon going into a weekend of Aquarius energy. Dynamic change. Allow it to be for the positive. Ask the universe for that lightning bolt of insight and change to work in your favor. I'm going to use this little hand here. I'm going to pull a couple charms across, see what lands in the hand. See what fell. Fell is a little zipper. What fell in the hand is this cute little, like, daisy-like flower. So even though there's like this tower, like intense stuff, there's this softness there too. It's the Tree of Life with citrine. So there's definitely abundance. And this little sign that fell off a piece of jewelry, it says 1 tree planted. And this little dog, which is very loyal. I feel like there's green efforts here is what I'm seeing. Like you can still make money and do it in a loyal to the earth kind of way is what I'm seeing. This says where, that fell on the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is all about travel. So where do you want to go? Start making your wishes. Interesting, an airplane fell on civil servant, and a broom. Cleaning things up, cleaning up the dust in the corners, cleaning up outdated ideas. And I see that this civil servant work, this direction that you're starting to move in, can take you places. So allow it. Zipper kind of, I'm thinking of it opening something up. Allow the newness to come in. Have a great week.